Before we get started today, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. My band Lorenzo's Music has just released a remix album. It is the second in a series of remix albums we've done. It's called Lorenzo's Remixes Volume 2. It includes remixes from musicians located all over the world. So go check out the album, Lorenzo's Remixes Volume 2, and you can hear all the different tracks and reimagined songs right there. Now, on to the show. Hi, and welcome to another Lorenzo's Music podcast. I am Tom, and on today's show, I am talking to a person that's in a band that is not too far from where I live, and I've played a show with them. They play great music, and they're on the show to talk about a new EP that they have out. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell the people what it is you do?
Hi, I'm Joe Cannon, and I play guitar, banjo, and sing for the band Resurrectionists.
And you are based out of where?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. So have you always lived in Milwaukee?
No, I moved here. I moved here in 2008 to take a teaching job at UWM. I'm not in academia anymore, but that was what brought me to Milwaukee.
But out of curiosity, what were you teaching? What was your background?
Well, my background's philosophy.
Okay.
But I was teaching interdisciplinary seminars at in what they call the Honors College at UWM.
Wow. All right. This just got a whole lot fancier. So,
well, I haven't been in academia for.
I know, but it doesn't mean you're not an intelligent person.
Well, okay,
that's what I'm saying. Just some, chucklehead like me talking to a smart guy. No, I'm kidding. But now during this time, were you always playing music? How long have you been a musician?
The first band I was in that ever released anything was my college band Emily. That I think our first thing came out in '93.
Oh, okay. What kind of music was that?
It was a punk band.
Oh, it was. Okay, yeah, as required by law for most people in the '90s.
yeah. Like all the, I was listening to hardcore and what was called emo back then, but nobody would recognize it as it now.
Yeah, no kidding. I swear, when I heard that emo was making a comeback,
wave, I guess.
Yeah, well, and now there's even the specific Midwest emo is a genre,
Oh yeah, that existed in the '90s though.
Yeah,
because a lot of those bands, I'm thinking of bands like Braid and the Promise Ring, where it's like they're emo, but they're also Midwest as heck.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about Midwest emo, because it has absolutely nothing to do with it.
No, it does not. Just basically you said emo, and I know it's got a resurgence, yeah.
Right, exactly. No, but as a 20-year-old
right, yeah.
in the 90s, I played some things that might have verged upon it.
Okay. And were you playing guitar and singing at this time, or what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Emily was probably the first band that I kind of seriously did that. I had played in another band before that called Smear, that later got renamed Mr. Head. But my songwriting my songwriting developed to the point that I can now listen to some of the songs that Emily wrote and not be angry with myself. So that's probably where I kind of hit a point where I could actually feel okay about what I was doing.
Okay. All right. And then how did Resurrectionists come about?
Well, I used to play in a band with the bassist of Resurrectionists called Work.
Okay.
And we were a trio. It was Jeff, the bassist, and I, and a fellow named Covey playing drums. And we put out 3 albums over the course of six years. Mm-hmm. And then Covey moved to Austin, and the band went on hiatus. We've played 1 show since he moved.
When was this?
When did he move?
Yeah.
2018, maybe.
So this, because you and I didn't meet in person until after 2020. Never mind. Okay.
No,
I was like, is this the person
we met We met at that show at Anodyne, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, I was mixing up the dates. Okay, continue.
No.
Sorry about that.
So work ended, and then I tried multiple different I tried multiple different ideas to like, do a successor band to it. And so Work was like a raucous little punk rock trio that would have on any one of our albums like 2 or 3 slower, kind of more through written, melancholy kind of things.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what would it be like if I had a band that was just devoted to that? And also I started playing banjo again. And so we started playing.
I like the adage of again to that.
Yeah. They keep pulling me back in.
Exactly.
So I tried a couple of different ways to continue playing with Jeff. Like we had an attempted band called The Ons, where we were both playing guitar and tried to find a bassist. And then we started doing Resurrectionists. And that's the one that kind of got legs. For a while, we had a pedal steel player named Gavin, who was pretty awesome.
Oh, how do you run across
this kind of like player? Wow. We were playing this kind of like chamber Americana type stuff. And then when Gavin moved to upstate New York, we figured we weren't going to try to find a pedal steel player in Milwaukee who was, A, good, B, liked weird rock music, and C, was willing to be a member of a band as opposed to somebody who got paid. So we just, so I asked my friend John to kind of take a listen to what we had been doing and see what he would do kind of in place of the pedal steel. And he's become our sort of jack of all trades. Like he keys or various guitars with effects and the such. We've nicknamed him Dr. Science.
I saw that
because we would be like in practice, and like Josh, the drummer, Jeff, and I would be like, nearly having a fist fight over some arrangement issue that we can't agree on. And then I was like, well, and then whatever the hell Dr. Science over here comes up with, well, John's like dickering with his pedals, and then like, it's like without fail, the three of us will come up with some sort of, structure, and then like John will just lay these odd, weird soundscapes on top of them, and we're just, well, Dr. Science has spoken. Song's done.
He's the answer to the question mark section of the Underpants Gnomes from South Park. South Park. He fills in the blank. Oh, that's what the answer is. I like that. Right. And so while you were looking for these people, you were writing songs. Were you writing them as a team with the lineup as is, or were you writing the songs? Like, what's the process for writing?
Well, the first group of songs were things that I had been playing around with for years.
Okay.
So like the first album, which is now like back in 2018, was mostly things that I had been playing just because, I had a tranche of songs, and once I had people to play with, I was like, well, let's just arrange and practice up these like 8 or 9 songs I already have, and then we can start writing once we have those, because that's a set, and you can start playing. And some of the songs that we ended up playing were songs that from an older band of mine from when I was still living in Chicago, named Barely American. So there was 1 or 2 songs that we played that were originally Barely American songs. Those are long past. These are songs we haven't been playing actively in the set in like 4 or 5 years. And when John came in, the band started gravitating away from that sort of like chamber Americana feel to a rock and roll band. And so we're now like a weirdo punk band.
Yeah. And that's
that occasionally plays slow, quiet banjo tunes or a country song.
Well,
I sort of jokingly say that this is the band. This is the band. This is the band where I gave up on genre.
I could see that. And I would even say your quiet songs go loud and quiet,
Yeah, I mean, is it going to be a hardcore song or 70s country rock? We don't know.
Yeah, and when you were saying that there were songs that you had done from the previous bands or different writing songs or different iterations, I find that super hard. And it seems like you, because it is I feel like if you keep them, you can't let go and do something new. And it sounds like you eventually came to that point, but I always have the hardest time not moving, or have the hardest time keeping that old stuff. I always start from scratch. I always just destroy and build up, you know?
No, I pretty frequent. I like to revisit things from the past. Yeah. I enjoy. I'm actually in the beginning of August. I'm going to be doing a song swap with a friend of mine at a bar in Milwaukee here called Bremen. Just like it's a during the day thing. He does this every summer where it, you know, we'll sit on stage and banter back and forth and play songs. You know, like he'll play a song, I'll play a song. This guy named Jake Wiley Hess does it out here. This is pretty cool. So I'm going to do that, and it's me using it as an opportunity to like relearn songs I haven't played in 15 years. And then, you know, and so I like doing these kinds of solo things sometimes because I can like pull stuff from like 4 or 5 different projects over the course of decades.
Yeah.
You know, and since I've never been popular, these are all songs that nobody has ever heard. So, you know, they're perpetually brand new.
Yeah. So what is your songwriting process? I know that I always write an idea and then just kind of evolve it from there. And for me, the lyrics come last. I know a lot of people write lyrics and melody first. Like, what do you have a specific way?
I typically don't write music and lyrics together.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay.
So I have multiple notebooks with, you know, and my lyric writing process is a whole lot of writing and rewriting.
Mm-hmm.
Like down to the point where like I have lyrics, like I have lyrical ideas, you know, like a single turn of phrase or a quatrain or something like that, that I haven't been able to figure out how to finish in decades. And so I'll just keep rewriting it and rewriting it and rewriting it into the new notebook and the old notebook, you know, it's like, and then eventually sometimes, you know, I'll get that second line that then opens up everything else. And so I'm like, okay, now I've got, you know, 150 words, there's a song. Yeah, so that's kind of the process for lyrics. There's a whole lot of writing and rewriting and trying to take a single turn of phrase. And I mean, and a lot of my songwriting is, it's like in certain ways it's kind of oblique storytelling, but in other ways it's almost like, I don't know, tone poetry, because I just like the way that certain syllables go with each other. And sometimes there's like a tension between that where I'm like, so Joe, what does this song mean? I'm like, I don't know. It means a lot of things. I just like the way these words sound together.
Yeah. You ever have that problem where you sing something, it's a great line, but when you're singing it, one of the words, you're like, that word sounds stupid when I sing it. Have you ever? Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's lots of things. There's lots of things that seem smart when you write it down, but then when you try to actually place it, and I mean, so a lot of the rewriting is, you know, me, you know, crossing out 4 different synonyms for the same word until I find the one that clangs right. Yeah. Oh, and so then my writing process with music is much more, you know, it's really literally me bumming around my apartment playing a guitar until something strikes my ear.
Okay.
And then I start playing it over and over and over again and developing it a bit more. And usually with the band, things have developed to a certain degree before I bring something into the band. I usually have like, you know, a half-formed lyrical idea and then like probably 2 parts that are sort of like, you know, like a verse, like something versy, something chorusy, or some you know, some idea or 2 that I want to build stuff around. And then I bring those sort of like half-formed materials into practice, and then we as a band all work them up.
And do you record them yourself, or do you show them to them on the instrument?
On the instrument mostly.
Okay. All right.
And then when we work, when in practice, we do a lot of voice memo recordings.
Okay.
Where, you know, once we've got something to the point where we feel like it's once we've got something to the point where we feel like it's, you know, worth documenting to like listen to and puzzle over, then we'll record it.
All right.
But, you know, and then there will be songs that, you know, we've kind of half finished or are have put on the back burner, and sometimes for years. You know, because you know how it is, where it's like there's the thing you've been, you know, helplessly hassling for years, and then you come in and like somebody plays some dumb thing, and you're like half hour later you have a fully finished song. You're like, well, that happened.
Yeah. No, that's why I love tracking the ideas, even as we're thinking of them, even if they're just stupid, or even if it's like, let me try something and we track it.
Yeah.
And then later on, what I can do is I can take that and I will chop it up and go, what if this note was here? What if this note was here? I do a lot of that. I'm a lot more like William Burroughs-ish in it. And I just cut it up and like make them. And now I'm like, okay, now learn this part that we just cut up from your guitar line.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, the big thing is that I have never felt comfortable recording.
Okay.
It's not a skill area for me. I surround myself with people who learn how to do that stuff. It's like my attitude towards recording is I always like having recorded. The process of it is not. It's like, I mean, I can be helpful, and like sometimes I have a weird sensibility. Like I'll notice things others aren't noticing in a mix or something. But in terms of like the technical ability of like using the equipment and plugins, and it's just like it gets into that kind of rocket science feeling, and I'm just like, I don't know how to do this.
Right.
I just, you know, I'm going to play this. I'm going to write the songs, and then find people who know how to do this.
Yeah.
So,
well, and as the musician,
corollary to that is I'm not going to be the guy who's recording my practices. With the exception of just like, you know, on like a quick reference recording on a telephone.
So knowing people who do this, and your new EP that came out, it is recorded by, right here it says Mike Lust.
It was recorded by Mike Lust in Chicago. Mike Lust is a old head in Chicago. He's been around forever. And he's been a recording engineer for decades. Like I recorded with him. I had a band called Early Risers back in Chicago, and we recorded with him in like 2006 or something. And he's been in bands for ages. He was in Type Phantoms, Luster King, and other, and I think he plays under his own name now. So he's a well-known figure in Chicago.
What's his studio setup like?
He rents studio time at a place. It's there in front of you. What was the?
No, all I see, I'm on the Bandcamp thing. Oh, maybe it's up higher. I actually just have the note.
I'm trying to remember. I'm drawing a blank on the name of Jam Deck. So we recorded it. We recorded the basic tracks at this place called Jam Deck.
Okay.
And then he has a practice space in a place called the Music Garage in Chicago. He has a practice space that he's converted into a studio. But
gotcha.
You wouldn't really be able to do a full band recording in that studio. So basically what we did was we did basic tracks and then we did basic tracks at Jam Deck and then vocals and overdubs.
Okay.
And Mike's
interesting.
Like personal studio in his practice space.
All right. And while you were saying Jam Deck, and I was looking on the Bandcamp page as you were saying that, Oracle Deck kept popping up. And I know, I know recently when you were on, I heard you recently on WMSE in Milwaukee, and you were talking about your Oracle Deck. So tell people about this Oracle Deck that comes with the EP.
So the EP we just put out is called Anytime You Make a Place for Them. It has 4 songs, and we had this idea. So, you know, it's the eternal struggle of figuring out how to release music in the age of streaming, figuring out how to release music in ways that you don't have to go all the way to a full-on vinyl release with all the delays and expense involved, but you know, releasing it in a way that people will buy it, as opposed to, you know, because it's like you can't sell download cards, and it's like it just like there's this weird psychology to it where it says like what somebody will spend money on versus not. And we've learned through long practice that no matter how you package it, people do not buy download cards. You know, so we were like, how, you know, what are we going to do? Well, we had the idea. It was like, oh, I'm going to have what's 4 songs. I'll have an art print corresponding to each of the songs that are like a 12 by 12. So it looks, so like the package that you'd be selling would look like a record album. We ended up not doing that because the artist that we talked to about doing the art prints was like, hey, I've got this other idea that I want to run by you. And the idea was to create an oracle deck, like a tarot deck, like a fortune telling deck.
I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Where the 4 suits correspond to the 4 songs. So it's like, it's like a deck of cards with these images that are kind of sourced from vintage encyclopedias, designed by our friend Neil Horsky, who's a talented visual artist. And so he designed these, and he has been giving readings like at shows of ours, and also just he carries the cards around with him. I like that he created this oracle deck for us, and he is also the only person on the planet who knows how to do a reading with the oracle deck because he designed it, and
or he knows how to give a reading with it. Like it's one of those things. Like, does he really? Is he just really good at like he should be smelling snake oil?
Right. I mean, he designed it, so
right, exactly, yeah. And there's a theme too that I wanted to ask you about. And
also, we gave up and released it on physical media. It's available on tape or CD.
Oh, you did do it on tape?
Yeah, we did it. I was like, oh, I'm like, we tried. I just was like testing the waters of like, nobody is going to buy it if there isn't a physical music. Like even if you give them a tape and you tuck the download code in the tape and they're only ever going to listen to it on the download code, if the tape isn't there, they won't buy it.
Where do you get tape made? Where are you getting cassettes made?
We use duplication.ca.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so with the artwork that he did on the cards, he also did the artwork on the album, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the
the artwork on the album is essentially the design of the back of the card.
That's what I was going to ask, because I wasn't sure or not if it was or not. And
and also that harkens back to our first our second,
right?
Well, our first the album we put out on vinyl, the Now That We're All Ghosts, because it's that weird faceless grandfather clock is.
That's what I was getting at, was the grandfather clock. Yeah,
it's kind of become our thing.
Okay, all right. And is there any specific meaning, or it's just because that's what was on that album?
The clock idea originated from a video idea for one of the songs on Now That We're All Ghosts.
Yeah.
I had, and the video was actually made. I mean, that album, we had a video made for every song on it.
Yes. And
3 of those videos were made by my friend Brian Tyson. One of which was the first was sort of the reason why I acquired the clock that became the cover star of the album.
Oh, you acquired it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no,
okay.
It lives in my front room.
Nice.
I mean, it doesn't function as a clock anymore because it got carted around various places in Milwaukee.
The picture is in the middle of a field.
Yeah. Well, and so the middle of the field picture came from. So, okay, one of the songs in the record was called The Rest Cure. And I had this idea for a video where the band is walking through a forest and comes upon this clock in the middle of a forest. Because I was really enjoying this kind of like, you're like a clearing in the forest, and there's this fucking grandfather clock just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then in the video we notice that it's 2 minutes to midnight. We get freaked out by this because, the old nuclear devastation meme. And so like we go and we run off, we come back with like surgical devices and stuff, and we do like weird surgery on the clock. And then when we're done, it's 3 minutes to midnight. So we declare victory and leave. But once I had the clock, we just started having all of these other ideas for ways of using the clock. And so we also did a video that was during the lockdown period of the pandemic. It was like, early 2021, that was Brian filming me like walking around my neighborhood with all of the buildings closed and stuff like that. And then the video ended with the members of the band carrying the grandfather clock up Reservoir Hill, which is a big park in River West in Milwaukee, carrying it coffin style up the hill, and then putting it, then standing it up and having beers with each other, around the clock. So when we were filming that video, I was like, and we had the clock on the hill with the city in the background. I was like, okay, this is cool. I need to take a bunch of pictures of this. And so one of the pictures that I took, I was like, well, this absolutely has to be the album cover, because this is like, an album cover.
I've had moments like that where I've taken a picture and I'm like, next time we do an album, this is going to be a perfect picture for it. Oh, and right. I want to add too, you said like, how weird would it be? You walk into a field and there's just a clock sitting there. As just a point, I had a similar, not as cool, but similar experience where, yes, it is weird. So there are places around here in Madison where there are fields, but for some reason they're like, I know, let's build miles and miles of bike trail out here, like cemented, but it's like nothing else is around. I was riding on one time, and all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere, no roads around, just fields, marshland, all this kind of stuff. There was a bookshelf just sitting on the side of, and I'm like, who took the time and effort to put this here? Why is it here? Who brought this? Like, what the hell's it is weird. It's unnerving to just go, this took time and effort.
Well, it also reminds you of the, oh God, it was like one of those sort of like Reddit memes that gained traction, where it was like, finding a stairway in the middle of a forest.
Yeah.
And it like, and always being this like weirdly ominous thing where it's just like, don't interact with that stairway because it's probably evil.
Yeah. Now, there is a song on the new EP that I want to ask you about. It's the song Jokers and Their Jokes.
Yeah.
Now, it's one of those songs where, is it in a weird time signature, or do you just have a weird rhythm?
No.
Okay. And to you, it's probably not weird at all. But when I first hear it, there's this guitar hit, and it's like, where the hell does it go?
No, it's a 12.
Okay. See, I was thinking it was a 7. And also, by the way, to most normal people, those are weird time signatures.
I use 12 a lot. I like because basically what you're doing is it's a 4, but you've got that 3 pulse going on through the whole thing. It's one of those rhythms I like so much that I have to remind myself not to use it.
Just like PJ Harvey and her 11/4. So I was curious about that. Okay, so it is kind of a weird time signature. It's just a very normal go-to for you.
It is a 4, but it's just a 4 that's got that kind one pulse,
a late
that
one.
3 pulse. And I do. I often like to play the and before or the and after the beat. It's like me, my fill line at worship manifests in that way.
Gotcha. Now, when you guys practice, what is your studio setup? Do you guys have a place? Do you go just the house? Like, where do you guys get together and do this stuff? Oh, it's your attic.
It's my attic. And it has been for about a year. Prior to that, we had a practice space that Jeff had for ages. It was actually the practice space that Work used. So, but then the rent just kept climbing up, and at a certain point, Jeff was like, "Nah, I can't do this anymore." And so we migrated it to my attic, which has worked out pretty well. And I've actually now hosted a show, and we have like at least one show scheduled to host in that attic coming up in August.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now so it was when I bought my house, it was a real selling point because it's the footprint of the entire house. It's just like,
wow.
And the full ceilings. It's like a 15-foot ceiling at the apex. So it's a nice space. And I had a friend put a separate circuit in there so that I didn't have to worry about running it off of my downstairs. And so it's pretty well set up. I mean, it isn't like I didn't rehab it. It looks like an attic. It's exposed rafters and stuff. But
that's literally what I was picturing in my head.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not. And so we have to be a little bit careful because it's not sound treated or anything.
That was what I was going to ask. Okay.
No.
So how are you? Nobody's complaining about it. You're not, especially even having shows.
Well, we haven't had many. We've only had one.
Okay.
And so it's certain kinds of things we can't do, but but as long as it's on a weekend, and I live in a neighborhood where it's like this kind of thing happens.
Okay.
It's like it's the River West neighborhood of Milwaukee. It's like
Gotcha.
There's weirdos playing music.
Yeah. Okay. It took me a second to, because I'm like, most people, that wouldn't be a normal thing that goes on. It's like, now Bob's over there doing a show in his attic,
Well, I have across the alley from me is the place that I used to live. It was that place, the house I lived in prior to buying the one that I live in now. And they do shows. So like I call my venue the library because I have this like floor to ceiling bookshelf that's the first thing you see when you get to the top of the stairway in the attic. And their place is called Tsunami. And so we've always joked about like we should do shows at the same time and call it Attic Fest.
That's fun. You should. I mean, why not? That makes sense. It sells itself.
Attic Fest will eventually happen.
Okay. And now with that, how do you manage booking shows? I know that you're also in other bands, and how do you organize that with not only the people in the band, but also several bands? Like, are you the one booking the shows? Is someone else doing it for you? And how are you organizing it?
So the Resurrectionists is, I'm the primary kind of like contact person for Resurrectionists.
Okay.
I also play in a band called Star Jelly, which until recently was named Delicious Monsters.
Okay.
And the other members of the band are kind of like dialed into the scene that band operates in a bit more, and so I do less. And then I started a band very recently named Gore Area 2. That's kind of like weirdly organic sounding krautrock, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I jokingly say it's Cocteau Twins doing lines with Damo Suzuki over at Noise Place. And it's Noi. So you think it's going to be like all antiseptic brutalism, but it's surprisingly cozy. There's hammocks and shit. That's my description of that band. And so...
I like that it's also a discussion.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I did name the band Gore Area 2.
Yeah. Gore Area 1 was taken.
It came from we had a lineup change early on, like after basically somebody practiced with us once or twice who was like, nah, I can't do this. And then the drummer who was like managing the text thread that we used to organize stuff changed the name of the text thread to Gore Area 2 with the Roman numerals. And I was just like, well, we're kind of sort of krautrock, so it's kind of on brand for us to name this band something weird like Gore Area 2. And so I was like, yeah, that's the name of the band now, Neil. Oh, Neil Horsky, the guy who designed the Oracle deck, is the drummer of Gore Area 2.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because Milwaukee is not incestuous enough. We have to.
Right.
Yeah. Gore Area has played 2 shows so far. So those bands I'm kind of like the main booking guy. And with the 2 of them right now, it's sort of like somebody will ask me, and I'll figure out which of the 2 projects has everybody available.
Okay. So you really do just check in and go, can you guys do this date? There's not like calendar syncing up or anything like that. That's the biggest problem I have.
No, I don't. The times I've attempted to do like use a calendar app and have everybody participate in it, it's just like, no, you be the switchboard.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it does involve a lot of me chasing people around, especially people who have like hectic work schedules or who are allergic to cell phones.
Right.
You know, so it's like, there's a bit of like, you know, per my last 7 text messages, are you available on this date for a rock and roll show?
Case in point, we were all set up until the 3rd day before I was doing that show with you in Anodyne. And then my drummer goes, oh, wait, no, my daughter has a recital out of town that day. I can't do the show. And I'm like, you're kidding me. So that's how I ended up doing that show by myself. I just had them record all their parts, or we did a live take in our studio, and I just didn't record my part, and then I played along with it, and that was the show that I did. But up to the 3rd day before that show, the full band was coming, and then I had to pivot.
We've had reasonably good luck. I can think of only one time that Resurrectionists has had to cancel a show for that reason, and it was basically like our drummer had gotten a day off from work, and then they had a staffing crisis, and that day off was rescinded. And he was like, there's nothing I can do about this. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I get it.
Okay. Oh, I thought you meant he didn't show up because he got a day off for work. No, he's like, oh, I have free time.
No, it was that it was like he had confirmed that he could do it because he had gotten the time off work, but then later on they had a staffing crisis and he wasn't, you know, he was pulled in.
My favorite is we played with a band here in town and their drummer couldn't do the show because he got Taylor Swift tickets.
Okay. All right.
So he went to go do that instead. Super rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, all right. That was one of my favorites. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I ask, is just because I'm always looking for new ways to figure out managing booking, because seriously, more often than not, it will be like only 3 people are playing this show. I'm playing it by myself. Crap like that. So, and I know that you're in several bands, so I was very curious how that works for you.
Yeah.
All right. Now, basically with this video, with this EP that came out.
Yes.
Do you have videos coming up? Because I know you did that with the last album.
We have one made, and I am working on another one. We had plans to do one for each of the 4 songs, but 2 of them have gone sort of back burner because of just logistics issues of like getting. We've got this ambitious idea to do one of them that involves creating puppets of ourselves, and the puppets are taking a long time to get made. So it's you know, it's kind of gotten vague when that one's going to happen. But we have one that's ready. But I want to have a second one so that I'm not just releasing a new thing and then like not having something relatively soon thereafter to follow it up with. So I'm actually, when we're done here today, I'm going to be going to shoot some footage for that video.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Neil, who I've been talking about a lot, he actually made the video for the song. So Make a Place for Them has a video, which I have not yet released, because I want to have like a couple of things so I can have like a rhythm of things to promote, to publicize. So yeah, he's done a video, and then T.W. Hansen, who did 2 of the videos for the album, did the video for Blue Henry and the video for Ghost This Time. Is working on that. Then that video is going to be for the song Ditch Gospel.
Okay, and that's the first song on the album, right?
Yes.
Okay, that one I recognized. You had been playing that one out. I think you had been playing the other ones out too, but when I first listened to the EP, I'm like, I know this song.
Yeah.
So
we've
I'd
been
seen
playing all
times.
4 of those were, all 4 of those songs have been in the set for a while.
That's what I figured. Okay. And are you working on, not that it's not enough you're working on videos, you just released an EP and things like that, but do you have plans in the works for another?
We've recorded basic tracks and vocals for a new 4-songer, which is basically we've clearing out the last of the songs that we had written and not released before. We've got this concept album that we're working on, or that I'm working on, and the rest of the band has been musically following me.
I know that goes. Yeah.
So no, we have a new set of 4 songs. With the pace that this is going, I will expect that it'll probably be released in early fall.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess like September-ish, because we've got to kind of take inventory of what we've got, do a little mixing session of our own, and then give it over to the recording engineer to do like the final mixes. So yeah, and just knowing how long things take, it's gonna take a little while. So yeah, that's that's 2 banjo songs and 2 guitar songs. It's an interesting kind of like contrast, because the 4-song EP that we just did is kind of a rock EP, you know, like, whereas like if you listen to our other things, there's like more of a mix of, there's some punk and rock songs on there, but then there's like quieter banjo based things, you know, and that kind of thing. And then the 4 songs on Anytime You Make a Place for Them are kind of all rockers. And then this next one that we're about to put out, or that we're working on finishing, is 2 quieter banjo songs, a country song, like a straight up country song about drinking and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, and then a kind of, I don't know, swampier kind of song that's about bad things.
Okay.
About bad things in small towns, you know.
All the swamps in Milwaukee inspired you.
Exactly. The fens.
All right. And then if people wanted to learn more about Resurrectionists or hear more, where could they go do that?
So we have a Bandcamp, which is it's resurrectionistsmke.bandcamp.com. And then our Facebook, I mean, it's always Resurrectionists MKE.
Okay. Yeah. That's always easy.
And then
MKE, Milwaukee. Yes.
Right. So, and the only stumbling point that a lot of people have is that the band name is difficult to spell.
Yes. I relied on autocorrect many times.
So the rules of the band name are, there is no the, it's just Resurrectionists. And Resurrectionists is spelled with 1 S and 2 R's. Resurr. People have a tendency to think it's 2 S's, 1 R, but it's not. It's 1 S, 2 R's.
Yep. And
if we were nerdier,
I remember the 1 S. I always forget the 2 R's.
Yeah, if we were nerdier, we would put out an album or something named 1 S, 2 R's, but we're not quite that nerdy. Close.
Or you could do
but not quite.
A version of Aretha Franklin's RESPECT, but just spell out Resurrectionists. Yeah. Make it catchy, you know, like phonetics.
Right. Yeah. Never. And also for those of you following along at home, it is not a good idea to have your band name be a single 16-letter long word. No, not a good idea. So,
especially since all of your other bands,
we did the experiment, so you don't have to.
Your other bands were literally named like Work.
Yeah.
And you know, you went with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, even the Grok, or I forget the name, but even that one, like, you know, rolled off the tongue. The
Gore Area 2.
Gore Area 2. I wanted to say Grok for some reason.
No.
Gore Area 2. Yeah.
Well, Delicious Monsters was a reasonably cumbersome name, but that band has now been renamed to Star Jelly.
I could see people misspelling delicious. Yes.
Right. It's just more like, it's also the thing where it's just like, it's a long word, so it's hard to place on like a T-shirt or something and have it be it's hard to place on T-shirts and flyers and stuff and have it be like, you know, the thing that was nice about Work is that like you could, you know, like have a 256-point font and have it be this like massively iconic thing on the top of a poster or a T-shirt or something, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that was
I just got an idea, much like your text chain that you talked about how the band name changed. This one could be, you could change Resurrectionist to use a tinier font on the T-shirt. Could be the name of the band.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Exactly.
I like that.
I mean, I
All
like
right.
the band name. It's just
No, it's a great band name, but I get that.
It poses certain challenges.
Yes. Yeah. But it does autocorrect very well. I've typed it in misspelled several times and it does go, did you mean this? And
Right.
it does show up. So
Well, that's good.
You got that going for you. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for talking with me today.
That was fun.